In this video, I want to share a little story with you about how I got over my gear obsession. Jim Ferris here, sharing my love of fingerstyle guitar and helping you grow as a player. I'm one of those guys that has always been obsessed over gear. I've owned a bunch of guitars and amps and mandolins and basses, and I just think guitars are really cool. But an event occurred to me in the late 1990s, maybe early 2000s. It changed how I view that sort of thing. At that time, I was living in Madison, Wisconsin, and working at a guitar shop there. And the manager of that shop was a drummer, just fabulous drummer, kind of a legend in the Midwest. Played funk great, jazz, just everything really good. A fellow named Mike Turk. And Mike frequently played with a guitarist named Cliff Frederickson, another Midwest legend. He grew up in St. Louis. His dad was a jazz accordion player, and he grew up playing in his bands and was really good at swing, jazz kind of stuff, but I mean also played blues and rock and country really great. So just a lot of stuff. And anyway, he kind of took a liking to me, I think because I played fingerstyle guitar, and he was a straight pick guy, or he would do the pick and fingers, hybrid picking thing. But I think maybe he dug the fact that I could play fingerstyle guitar, and also that I could play a couple hours of instrumental music. So he began to hook me up with some gigs. And frequently it would be, I'd get a call on Friday afternoon and say, can you play at such and such place in 2 hours or 3 hours? You know, he'd double book something. But, and my boss, Mike, was really cool about letting me do it. And I would race around and get to there and do it. But he would, and I was glad for the work, you know, and that he thought of me to do it. But there was one occasion where he asked me to split the bill with him on a gig. And it was a Sunday brunch at a place called the White Horse Inn in Madison, and it's located on State Street between the Capitol and the University of Wisconsin. And it was the University of Wisconsin's homecoming that weekend. So the brunch was going to be a lot longer than normal, and he asked me to play half of it, and then he would play the other half of it. So that's all good. You know, it was going to be fun. So we were playing in the bar area, and in the bar area it was kind of a platform. You walked up a couple of steps, there was a bar in the middle with seating around it and a railing around the sides, but it was open to the rest of the dining room so that they could hear what was going on. So we were sitting in the corner of the bar. I was sitting in the corner of the bar, played my set. At the time I was playing an Alvarez Yeri classical guitar with a Fishman soundboard transducer on it into a Fishman preamp, EQ preamp. Cliff, on the other hand, is very frequently plays archtop guitars, electric archtop guitars, everything, or the majority of stuff with a pick, some hybrid picking. But he had a very different sound and approach. So anyway, I play my part of the set first. Then I sat down at the bar to get some lunch, and he played a song. After his song, he played his first song, a group of people walked through the bar on their way to the exit. They'd already had their lunch. And as they walked by, they turned to him and said, "Oh, we've been enjoying listening to your music so much." that it's, it's really been great. So they go ahead and exit. And he says to me, they were talking about your playing, talking about my playing, finger picking on a classical guitar. And I said, well, that was nice of them. But that's when it dawned on me. Most people, as much as we obsess about gear, to a lot of listeners, they can't tell, a classical guitar from a electric guitar to maybe a trombone. I don't know. But we fixate so much on this stuff, and in the long run, I think it's not as important as we make it out to be. So what I've taken away from it is find a guitar that you like to play, and that you like the looks of, you like the feel of, and I like something that's real dependable and not fragile, and also won't break the bank if it gets stolen or broken. But that certainly shifted my gear priorities and tampered my gear obsession, at least to a degree. So that's my story. Thanks for listening to it. If you have any comments that you'd like to share, maybe you've had a similar experience, drop them in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time.